Hello, I'm Pau. I'm part of the Copay developers team. I have been working on backend and frontend development, mainly focused on QA testing, fixing bugs, and future implementations.
Hello, my name is Dylan, and I'm a part of the Copay developers team. I have been working in both the frontend and the backend, and I'm mainly focused on the architecture and different layers of the project, including the database schema.
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm part of Copay's developer team. I'm working on front end and back end, but I'm mainly focused on user experience and the navigation.
Now I'm going to explain the different technologies that we use on our project. First, on the backend, we have Java with the Spring Boot framework. Inside our Spring Boot project, we have different dependencies that help us to develop. For example, first of all, we have Flyway, a dependency that is used for database migrations, similar as the Laravel framework. It helps us to have a better security and control over our database schema and our SQL scripts. The next one is Java Faker, a dependency that helps us to simulate data into your database in order to help us to test the endpoints and the buzzing logic. We also have JSON Web Tokens, a dependency that is used for the user authentication and help us to restrict the endpoint's access. It creates a temporal token when logging a register or application. We also implemented the out2 dependency, and it's used for the third parties logging such as GitHub, Google, Facebook, or any other one.
So now I'll explain to you the dependencies that we use in the front end. In the front end, we used a dependency called retrofit that is connected in the backend, and by that we used a dependency in the backend called course config, and they both use the same IP to be connected. So one of the dependencies that we use in the front end is called Hilt. Hilt is used to facilitate the injections in the class of constructors. Another dependency that we use in the front end is charts. Charts is used to display graphs transformed from our data and stats. The last important dependency that we use in the front end is Google Play Services Auth. This one allows you to log in with your Google account.
In our project, we use a relational MySQL database. Initially, we worked locally, but we migrated to Event Cloud. Since we use Spring Boot as our framework, we need to use Hibernate as our ORM. But any changes we make to the database schema, we need to use Flyway. Initially, we use MySQL Workbench to make our queries. Now, we also use IntelliJ with database plugins to centralize code. Our database basically stores data such as users, expenses, groups, plans, debts, and many more.
Before explaining the main functionalities, Pau is going to explain why we created Copay and the solution that we offer to the users.
Basically, imagine that you're having dinner with your friends in a restaurant, for example, and the restaurant says that you can't split the bill. Then one user needs to pay everything. Then how do you split the bill?
Yeah, how you split the each amount of your
How
friends.
do you know how much you owe for that friend that paid everything?
Yeah.
Then we use Copay.
In order to split each amount of the friend or equally, yeah, and to track who paid and who did not pay.
Yes.
First, let's start with the user authentication. Christian is going to act like he doesn't have an account, so he's now on the hub screen and he's going to sign up.
Okay, so I enter in the register screen. I have to fill first the username, which is not unique. I put my name, and then I put my email. Now I have to put the passwords. We have two fields to fill, one, and we have three validation. At least it must be at least 8 characters long, must contain one uppercase and at least one number. So I will write test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after I register, there are 2 steps because we wanted to we don't want it to saturate the user, so we made 2 screens, and then we have to put the phone number of the user, which I will put as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Now that Christian is registered, a token in the backend has been generated in order to grant an access to all the endpoints in the application. So Christian now, as a recent user, is capable of creating a group or logging out or even changing his user data. And now, on the other way, we are going to see Pau, who is going to log in a traditional way, and after that, he's going to log in with a Google account.
Basically, in the login screen, you have two inputs. In our app, our main ID, unique ID to use it in every screen is the phone number. Then you need to log in with a phone number and a password. And that's it. And then you can log out and let's log in with a Google account.
Just like the register, if you log in, you're getting token generation of 1 hour, so you can access to the endpoints in the application. Now for the Google account, he's going to select his account that he previously added to his phone, and it's going to automatically log in since he registered before. If he has a new Google account, he's going to be mandatory that he introduce the phone number. So after you can log out. You're doing okay, nice. Okay, so here we're not going to do all this process, but if you sign up with a Google account that your mobile doesn't have inside, it's going to register you in the database, but without a phone number. So the backend is going to detect that you need the phone number, so it's going to redirect to the register step 2 that we saw. Yeah, we saw on the Christian phones, and then you complete the input of the phone number, and the account is going to be fully registered. And after that, you can log in, and it's going to automatically, as you can see here, automatically join to the home screen. Yeah. Now that we have both of the accounts ready, Christian is going to test the create group of the application.
Okay, so now I enter in the create group screen. Here we have 3 fields to fill. So for example, I will add a group test and a small description here like this. An estimated price, like for example, the last bill that we have, like €100. I paid 100. And then we have 2 buttons here, that one is for view members, that shows that I'm alone here, and another button that to add members. For example, someone who has a Copay user, that is Pau. Pau, tell me your number.
603 696 141.
If we show a snack bar that says member added. But for example, if someone doesn't have a Copay account, because them,
like me, for
yes,
example.
for example, Dylan, I can add them, and it shows member added.
Yeah, we wanted to initially only do the users option, but then we thought that if a group of friends hang out, for example, going to a dinner, and they want to use the application, if we only have the users registered option, it's required to the 3 friends to have the app on the phone, right? So in order that doesn't happen, because it's better that only one person have it, we implemented the guest option that was doing it. We did it implementing a new table on the database, and its name is external members, where basically you can add me, that I don't have an account, and still track how much do I owe to Christian, and my total amounts, my payment confirmations, etc.
Okay, for example, I will add a couple more. Jose and Chema. Then in the button of the view members, it shows the new members that we added, Pau and Dylan, Jose and Chema.
Now you can select who paid for this group, right?
Yes, I will select myself, for example. Let's create a group.
Nice. Now Christian can see on his home screen that he has the group. You can interact with it.
Yes.
Yeah, and as a creator, he can manage the devs that we are going to take to talk about that later. and to manage the current members of the group. And also, if we go here, he can delete or edit the group, right? So maybe you can show the manage members, Bruno.
Yes, if for example you forgot to add someone, or example like you didn't want to add a member here, you can remove them here or add it here.
We can test it. We can maybe
Yes.
you can delete me if you want.
I delete Dylan.
And
Yes.
I'm
And
gone.
recalculates the
Yeah,
price.
and here I'm no longer in the group. And yeah, as Christian said, the price is recalculated. So now Pau, Chema, and Jose owes 25 euros, and Christian still needs 75. And yeah, and that's it. Now on the other hand, we have Pau who has
In my screen, as you can
Mhm.
see, there's a snack bar that it shows that new groups are available. That's for
yeah, we have a chrono in the
Mhm.
front end that it's permanently fetching to an
Okay.
endpoint to get the groups of a user. So if someone like Christian invites Pau, it's going to detect that, yeah, and pop up a snack bar, so the user can know it.
I just need to click the refresh button and it will show the group that Christian invited me before. And as an invited user, I can leave the group. As Christian, the creator, can delete or edit the group, I can leave. And I just leave and I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, and that's all the stuff for the group creation. Now we're going to talk about payment confirmations. Now, for the example, Pau has created a new group where he's the creator and has invited Christian as a registered member. So Pau, as a creator, has the Manage Devs button. You can
Basically, the Manage Devs button has two options: the request and manual. Basically, the request needs a request payment from an invited registered member like Christian, and the manual, we will see it later.
So now for the request, we can see a test for Christian.
Okay,
by Christian.
I entered the group that Pau invited me. So, for example, I cannot see the buttons that the owner has because I'm not the owner, but I can see the button that says pay your debt.
On your item card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for example, now I have a 37.5 as debt for Pau. I will send him 20 bucks, 20 euro. Then it says a snack bar that shows payment requested successfully.
And now we can again do a request payment because in the backend we have the, logic that prevents user to have
multiple requests.
not confirm it. So we shall do it again.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see that an error pop-ups. The message of the error still needs to change, but that's fast. Easy thing. Now on the other side, Pau as a creator can access to the button that we saw before, and we can see the request of Christian, right? Of 20 euros.
And before accepting, on the other side, we have here the activity.
Yeah. Christian as a registered member can access to activity, or Pau as a group creator. So every member of the group can see the transactions that are being made on the group, if it's pending or confirmed. So now Pau as a creator,
I have two options.
Yeah.
I can accept the request if I see or I confirm that Christian paid me in Visum or cash or whatever.
So no, you can accept. Yeah. And then you can go to. You need to refresh.
Yeah.
And go to the activity, and we can see that the payment that was impending is not confirmed. Okay. So
then if we check the expense, we see that it's less 20 euros, and now Christian owe me 17.50.
Yeah, it's the expense distribution has been recalculated with the new payment that Christian has made to Pau, right? So now we can explain the manual thing.
Basically, the difference is
here. Wait a moment. Here we can see that the transaction is still appears here. That's a bug that we are still solving, but that should be an easy thing because the backend is working fine. It's only a front-end problem.
Yeah.
So now on the manual side,
The difference is that the request needs
A
request
confirmation.
payments of Christian, for example, and here as a creator I can like confirm the payment.
of any one of the group,
Mhm.
right? So you can make the transactions not
Yeah.
only for Christian but for me as an external member or for
Right, yeah.
anybody,
Mhm.
and it's going to be not pending but confirmed instead, right?
Mhm.
So you can
Let's add what's left for Christian. It's 1750, for example.
you can select more than one people,
Yeah.
but let's do it for Christian.
Add payment.
We have the payment, we see the
Now,
pop-up with
yeah.
the snack bar.
And if we refresh, it must be Christian 0 and another confirm. Activity,
Another confirm payment activity, and the price is again recalculated on the group.
Mhm.
So that's the main thing about the payment confirmations. As I said before, it was hard and we still need to solve some problems. And it seems very easy in the front, but in the backend it has a lot of logic that it was hard to do, but we made it. Okay, and now we will show the other functionalities of the application. On the home screen, we also have the notifications button, where Pau can see a lot of stuff that happened on the demo. Like, for example, that he has been added to a group, that the member list of the group has been updated, so the price it's probably to be changed. And a lot of other stuff. You can delete it or mark as read.
Delete it. And if I mark as read, we have here another tab that shows
the ones that has been read, right?
Yeah.
And you can mark all of them as read. Yeah, and that's basically the notification pop-up that we still need to improve. Yeah, because it still has margin to improve. And we also want to add, for example, that if you have a new notification, it appears a red dot.
A red dot,
Yeah.
yes.
At the icon, so the user can know that has a new notification. Christian also has the notification, the same, but with different notifications that are triggered on the backend when you do certain things like creation of the group or the update of the group,
Any payments.
any payment confirmation, etc. And also we have on the home screen the dashboard, right,
Yeah,
Christian?
the dashboards here, it's still in progress, it don't work, but we would like to feature here the how much money did you pay to your friends, and for this thing we use a library that we found in GitHub, and it's called charts, and we would like to implement here that each bar represent each month, and for right now we're using the fifth bar that shows that 65. That's why it's a bit bigger. For the others, the others are hard coded.
And if you click, you can see data, right?
Yes, the data.
It's, as Christian said, it's hard coded.
65.5, 65.5.
We're still learning about the library, but it's interesting for sure, and it's compatible with native Android and Jetpack Compose.
Yes.
So we are for sure using it while we are developing the app, right?
Yes.
And that should be all for the home screen, the dashboard, and the notification system. And finally, we have the user profile, where the user can see his data and update it. Like, you can update the password, or you can go to the profile and update the name, the email, the phone number, and yeah. And still, the image is not editable, right? But we want to implement it in the future, so the user can choose his profile picture. And an important thing about this is that if you change your phone number, you can test it. Yeah, a pop-up is going to appear where basically it says that changing your phone number will log you out. Okay, why does that happen? It's very easy, because the token that is being generated when you register or when you log in, the main identifier of that token is the phone number. So if we didn't have this pop-up and we didn't log out before when the user changed the phone number. But we saw that all the application was broken because
because the phone number is an ID, so it's
it's a identifier of the token. So if the phone number is being changed, the token doesn't have the same phone number as the user, and the application completely gets broken. So we do this warning, and if you log out now, change it, accept the warning, and now he's going to be automatically logged out. And that should be all. A lot of validations are implemented in the backend and also the frontend, but we are still working on the message occurrence, right? On the snack bars or exactly the message that we want to show. But we are very proud of this application, and we think that it's pretty good with the amount of time that we had to do it.
Yeah.
And for sure we're going to invest more time after finishing our grade to keep working on Copay. So thank you very much for watching us, and we hope that the demo was good for you.